Hi, friends. So, if you're a regular viewer, you might be aware that I have a weak spot for craft kits, especially craft kits that say they'll make something plushy. And this week, I have 2 more kits that I found, and I've been dying to try them. So, let's just get into it. Let's start with this Plush Keychains kit by Clever Kits. Clever with a K. So clever. Anyway, I grabbed this kit because the little plushies on the box looked so cute. It's for ages 6 and up, so I just make the cutoff. And the back shows these little fluff tubes and all the little ears and feet, and it kind of looks like they just push in, so it should be pretty simple. Let's open it. We have puppy, kitty, oh, nice, they're all individually wrapped, and rabbit. Wait, these were specific animals? What makes that a puppy and that a cat? I guess the ears? Okay, we also have the instructions. So far, so good. Let's dig in. Alright, I think I'm going to start with the kitty. We'll open it up, and we have the little keychain piece. Hopefully you can see it's got these like little numbers on it. I assume that's to help us attach the pieces where they belong. Then we have the face, the ears, feet, and then a celestial magic wand for some reason. And then these are all of the little fluff tubes. Let's first assemble the limbs by putting the front feet on. I'm confused. I don't get it. Okay, so look at the picture on the front of the box. His feet are pointing out away from each other, right? But the foot piece has this little like tab thing on it. So if I put it in like that, his feet are going to point in at a really strange looking angle. Alright, let's not do that. How about I just do the back feet first? I did have to press really hard to get them in, and they are in, but they don't feel super secure. They feel kind of wiggly, so we'll see if they stay in. Now, for the front feet, this is the biggest toe, so it should be on the inside. Okay, well, that snapped right in. But then, look at his feet. That looks ridiculous. The other 2 plushies on the box have the toes pointing down, like maybe we're looking at the top of their feet instead of the bottom, if that makes sense. I mean, that's not how this one is on the box, but I cannot figure out how to get it like that picture. So I'm just going to do this instead. Okay, well, those snapped in and they feel really secure at least. Then I'm going to insert the ears into the corresponding holes by 9 and 20. Those snapped in really easy too. Now we need to insert the fluff tubes, starting with peach pink in 12, 14, 23, and 25. Okay, we're looking kinda crazy. Then we're gonna use these green ones to fill in the rest. I can't really tell if the tubes are in there super securely because I'm kind of pushing on this thing from every angle. With all of those in, now we need to remove this outer gel layer. Oh, some of them already want to come right off. That's pretty easy. Alright, then we fluff the inner plush by rubbing it. I don't know, that's what it says. I don't know what inner plush means. Okay, that feels weird and inappropriate, so I'm just gonna get real aggressive with it. There is some little fuzz that's coming out, but I'm like violently rubbing this and none of the little tubes are coming out, so that's promising. Then we need to attach the face. And then it says to insert the celestial magic wand into its designated slot. But I don't know where the designated slot is. It's gotta be here somewhere like this, based on the picture. Hello? Did you see a spot for a celestial magic wand? I didn't. Is it just like shoved behind the face somehow? What the heck? There's no hole. Seriously, look, it's right here, but there's nothing in there. It's just its face. There's no like magic spot for it to go hang out. Designated slots. Okay. It's like, hey, I'm gonna go right here. Ugh. Okay, the celestial magic wand is stupid, and I hate it because I don't know where it's supposed to go. So I'm just not dealing with it. So there's that guy. That took like 20 minutes, which isn't bad. And it doesn't look like a cat, but it's cute. I did go through and put together the other two, and it went pretty much the same as the first, but I obviously did get a little faster at it. I just need to point out how crazy these rabbit ears look. And weirdly, I was able to get that stupid celestial magic wand in place in each of these with barely any problem. So I did go back and try it out on the cat, and I was able to get it in. So it's only like 1/3 stupid, I guess. All in all, this whole kit took like maybe 40 minutes, probably less than that actually. And they all came out really cute, they fluffed up really nice, and they look just like the pictures. Except for the cat's feet. They were pretty simple to put together, and the instructions were easy to follow, and it doesn't seem like anything was missing. So overall, I think this kit was really good. The question that I have though is how well do they hold up as actual keychains? Like, do all of the little pieces stay in? So I'm going to attach one of these to my backpack and carry it around for the week so we can see how it holds up. And we're going to check back on that. Alright, while we're waiting on that, let's take a look at this second kit. It says, make your own Loom Animals. It's got one of those little, like, circular loom things on the box. I have a set of bigger ones in my craft room, and I never learned how to make anything besides a tube. But this says it's going to make these cute little animals. It says, the easiest way to knit. Amigurumi, whatever, made easy. I've always wanted to learn to crochet just so I could make those cute little animals that everyone makes. So let's see how this goes. Inside the box we have the loom, the glue, some puff balls, and a needle, the instruction booklet, all of the yarn, felt pieces, I think, and the stuffing. Let's look at the instructions. This is a Klutz brand kit, and oh god, I love Klutz kits. They're always put together so nicely. Also, this is not sponsored, I bought this myself, but Klutz ever wanted to sponsor me, I'm available. Oh, look, we can make keychains. Okay, well, I want to make them all, so let's get started. So I'm going to start with the first one here, the itty bitty bird. Really, that's what it's called. Just reading the helpful tips first, and it says, if you get stuck, ask a grown-up for help. So I guess I better go find a grown-up. First, we need the yellow and the orange yarn. The yarn feels kind of stretchy, like a really soft t-shirty material. Can I make animals out of old t-shirts? Oh my god, don't tell me that. That's dangerous. Okay, now I think I untie it like this. Then I find the end of the bundle, hold the loom in my left hand, if I'm right-handed, which I'm not, so I'm doing all of this backwards. Hold the loom so the spokes face up, and the notch on the side faces you. Notch, got it. Okay, place the end of the yarn down through the center of the loom so about 8 inches hang out from the bottom. Alright, let me measure 8 inches. Put the dangling yarn end through the notch on the front of the loom to keep it secure. Then wrap the long end of the yarn clockwise around the spoke directly above the notch. Clockwise is this way. Then go to the next spoke and wrap clockwise. Keep going to the right, making loops all the way around the loom until each spoke has 1 loop. This is the first row of loops. Thank you. Press all of the loops down to the bottom of the spokes with your fingers. and then repeat the steps to make a second row of loops. Now comes the part where I feel like it's the first day that I've had hands. Grab the hook and slip the end through the groove on the last spoke behind the bottom loop. Use the hook to pull the loop up and over the top. Repeat on all the hooks. I kind of remember doing this on my fingers as a kid and making like long ropes that never became anything else. Up and over, up and over, up and over. Okay, I gotta do something with this. This is a mess. The instructions did say to wrap it into a ball before I began, but I just had to be a rebel and ignore it. Now look where I am. You know what I want for Christmas? A yarn winder thingy. I took this yarn spinning class last winter, and the teacher had this cool thing that wound all of our yarn into little balls. Whatever that thing is called, I want one. Okay, let's pause while I figure this out. Alright, we're back. Where were we? Okay, the thread is at the top of the spokes and we'll push all of them down. Then I need to repeat all of the steps to make 10 rows of stitches. The book does have an illustration to show you how to count the rows after you do them, but I'm just repeating the row number to myself over and over. 9, 9, 9. Now we measure 8 inches of yarn from the last stitch and cut it with scissors. To take the knitting off of the loom, we slip the plastic needle on the end thread and put the needle through the loop on the first spoke from the bottom. Then pull the loop over and off the spoke, then pull the needle all the way through the loop. Then repeat all the way through. Now I can set the loom aside. Then I can pull the yarn in tight and the hole at the end will close up. It did. It's like a little hat. Oh my god. That's so fun. To make a finishing knot, poke the needle through a piece of yarn near the center of the tube and pull until you have a small loop. Then stick the needle through the small loop and pull until you have a knot. We can take the needle off, and now we need the stuffing. Take a pinch of stuffing and poke it into the body. Is this a pinch of stuffing? It should feel plump and round. It does not feel plump and round, so I'll add a little more. Then we're going to take this other tail, put the needle on, and poke it through the loop on the outer edge closest to the base of your yarn strand. Stitch from the outside to the inside of the loop. Okay, I don't feel like that did anything. Continue all the way around and pull the yarn really tight and make a finishing knot. You made a body. Squish it in celebration. All right then. To hide the strings hanging off, we're going to use the needle to poke into the body right next to the finishing knot and pull all the way through the body. Pull it snug until it squishes in a little, and then snip the yarn close to the body. Repeat on the other side. Alright, now we need to make nubbins. And apparently, a nubbin is any little body part that sticks off the loom animal. In this case, I think it's wings. So we need our yarn and our loom again, and this time it's only going to hang down through the center about 4 inches. We hook it into the notch and then go clockwise around this first spoke. Then we go counterclockwise around the spoke to the right, making a figure 8. Press the loops down to the bottom and make another figure 8. Then we pull the bottom loops up and over, starting with the right side. And then we need 7 rows, so we'll do that 6 more times. Okay. Cut the yarn with 4 inches at the end. Then we're going to use the needle to take the knitting off of the loom, starting with the loop on the right. Then pull the end tight. Then I'll make a second one. Now it's time to attach them to the bird's body. So I'm going to thread one end through the needle, then poke it through a stitch on the side of the body where I want to attach it. I think we'll try right here. Then pull the needle until the nubbin butts up against the body. Use the yarn on both ends of the nubbin to tie a knot. You know, every time I say nubbin, I just think of Chandler's third nipple. Okay, we're going to hide the yarn ends by pulling them all the way through the body and chopping them close. Then I'll attach the other wing. Okay, he's got his floppy little nubbins. Now to do his face, we need 2 pieces of orange yarn 6 inches long. Then we're going to thread both pieces of yarn through the needle with a long and a short end. Push the needle all the way through the bird's body where you want the first corner of the beak to be. I think like right there. Pull the short end out the back, then move the needle to the other end and insert the needle where I want the other corner of the beak to be. Does that look like a beak? Kinda just looks like big lips. I'm going to snip the ends of the yarn close to the body to hide them. Well, that doesn't seem very secure. Oh, and then it says, add a small dot of glue under the beak to keep it extra secure. Well then. Okay, well, hopefully that dries clear. Then we need a small piece of orange yarn about 4 inches long. I'm not even going to measure that. Use the needle to stitch it through the top of the bird's head and tie a knot to hold it in place. Maybe just 1 knot, because otherwise it lays funny front to back. Trim the ends to the desired length for the tuft. And I'm going to add a little glue dot just to secure that. Now, the last thing we need is to use these felt dots as eyes and attach them with a little dot of glue. Well, he sort of looks like a yellow cactus, but he is pretty cute. Definitely itty bitty though. Okay, now we need to let him sit for 24 hours. After he dried, the glue is clear. His eyes are a little wonky, and I still think these look more like lips than a beak, but yeah, he's cute. These are the rest of the ones that I made before I ran out of time. Some animals required you to change colors in the middle of knitting, which was just tying a knot between the 2 colors of yarn and starting the next row in a new color. It works okay, but some of them I didn't get the knots in the best spot, so it's kind of ugly looking. I was able to either hide it in the back or under wings, etc., and I think I would get better with more practice. It was the exact same process for changing colors mid-nubbin too, like on this fox. To make a neck on some of the animals, it just had you tie a piece of yarn around it really tight and then hide the ends inside the body. My face placement and antenna making skills are not the best, but that's not the fault of the kit. The axolotl was my favorite and he was the hardest to do, but he actually wasn't that hard. He was just kind of time consuming. I ended up making all of the animals in the book except for the kitty, the fishy, and the dinosaur because I ran out of time. And I still have all of this thread left. So overall, this kit was great. They came out so adorable. I really want to see if I can do these with a larger loom to make bigger animals. So A+, Klutz Kit. Now let's check on this little keychain rabbit. Here's how he's looking at the end of the week. I'm not even sure I can tell any difference, quite honestly. I'll have to look back at the footage before. But everything on him held on really well, nothing's coming out, so I think he's great. I'm actually going to keep him on my backpack. So I think this is the first video where I actually liked all of the kits that I tried. Yay me! Well, yay kits, actually. But what do you think? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.